Hello and welcome back to the JILBOTIcs Classroom. I am Joshua Olunlade, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can blink your LED. Well, today we are going to be going through the code. So anytime you open up your Arduino program, it should look something like this. You see the void setup function and the void loop function opens up with any code you open, and that is because Arduino knows that you are going to use these two functions. But first, what we want to do now is to create the variable for our LED. So how do we do that now? As I explained in the slides, I create a variable of the data type integer. I name it my LED, and I assign it, okay, wait, let me name it my LED. Okay, you see C++ is case sensitive, and that is what we are using here. So this name, this my LED, is different from my LED. You understand what I'm saying? So I would just prefer to put it like this, my LED, and I'm assigning it to 13. That is the digital pin 13. So if you can recall, the next step would be to set the pin mode of that pin 13 by using the my LED variable. But we'll be using the pin mode function. Remember from the slides, pin mode function, my LED, okay, sorry, my LED, comma, is it an input or output? If you said output, you are correct, because we are giving out something to the environment. We are giving out light to the environment. So comma output, and remember it is in all caps. You see that when I type it correctly, the compiler highlights it, like there is a color that comes up with it. See, you see that that's black. When I type it correctly, there's a color that comes out with it. See, if I type it in small letters, you see that there's no color. So this is a good way to also know when you are right or wrong. It lights up. So my LED comma output, and then now in my code I will use digital write function to switch on the LED for a second. So digital write, oh sorry, digital write. You can see that the first letter of write is capitalized, and that is like the way it is written. Digital write, then my LED comma high, which will switch on the LED. So comments are actually important because they help in knowing what that line is doing. Like if you have a very long code and you have a line digital write something something something, you will know that okay, this switches on the LED, and this switches this does this. So it is good to put comments in your code, and this is how you put comments, by using this two slashes. That's for single line comment. You can also use this for multiple line comments, the backslash, then the star, then to end it, you see Arduino has ended it for me. That gives me the backslash and the star too. So I can say this, sorry, this is my program. And what the compiler does is that it actually skips all the commented parts. So comments help you to put description in your code. Okay, digital write my LED comma I, that switches on the LED. Now what do we want to do? We want it to wait for a second, right? We want to switch on our LED for a second, so we'll use the delay function for that. Then delay. Remember, as I said before, it is not, if I want to delay for 1 second now, I can't just type in 1, because that value must be in milliseconds. So that's 1000. And then okay, wait for a second. And after it has waited for a second, what do we want? We want it to switch off my LED. Is that correct? So what do we use now? We also use the digital write. You can see that it didn't light up. That's because I made a mistake. I made a mistake here. Digital. So it is a good way to know when it doesn't light up. Just know that there's something wrong with your code. So that is my LED, comma low. You can see low is also in all caps, and I'm putting a comment again. Switches off the LED, and then I want it to wait for another second. Delay 1000. Okay, you notice that all this is inside the void loop function. All this my code is inside the void loop function. And what does that mean? I told you that the void loop function runs repeatedly, runs over and over and over again till your Arduino loses power or till you press the reset button. So what will happen? This is how your code will run. From this point, your compiler will read this line, say my LED is 13. Okay, it notes that. Then it will read your void setup function. To read your void setup function, and what will that do? That will initialize the LED by using pin mode. So it will run only once at the beginning, and then it moves straight into your void loop function. So now on getting to your void loop function, it will read this first line. After it does it, it will do the second line. After executing that line, it will execute this third line. After executing that line, it will execute this fourth line. And then instead of it to now end, it will now go over again and start from this first line, and then the second line, and third line, and fourth line, and then start again from the first line. So inside your void loop function, it runs over and over and over again. Now let's save our code. File, save. So I'll save that as blink. I'll save that as blink, and it's done saving. You can see here that it tells you what the compiler is doing. So here it says done saving. Now I'll click on compile. You can see this button or this bar is showing how it is compiling. So, and it's taking a while. As opposed to pausing the video, let me actually leave it so that you know how long this is taking. So now it's done compiling. See here, done compiling, and I will now upload to my Arduino board. But first, anytime you want to upload to an Arduino board, you must make sure come to this tools place, tools bar, and then under the tools bar, make sure that your board is Arduino Uno or whatever board you are using. For me, I am using Arduino Uno. For you too, it is probably going to be an Arduino Uno. And then after making sure that that is selected, come to that tools bar again. Then the port, you can see I have two ports here, but I know my port, it is COM7. My port is COM7, so I'm going to select it. But you can wonder, how do I know what port I'm on? Well, let me just quickly go through that. I'm going to open my device manager now by clicking on the start. Then I type device manager. So you can just search device manager, and then I know it's under settings, so device manager. So when device manager opens up, you can see a lot of things here, and what I'm going to do is that I am actually going to disconnect my Arduino board. So I've removed it now. You see that device manager loads again. So what I want you to do is look for this part that says ports, COM and LPT, COM and LPT, then open it like that. Then plug in your Arduino Uno. You see that it will load again, and you can see that something has been added here, USB to serial CH340 COM7. So this is how I know what COM port my Arduino is on, COM7. So that is it. So COM7, I select COM7. And let me just quickly say this: sometimes you may connect your Arduino Uno and you don't find it in the device manager. If that is the case, just notify us on the Classroom platform. There's a fix for that, but I will not be explaining it in this video. So now I am going to upload. This is the upload button. I'm just going to click it, and it's going to upload the code to my Arduino. So it's saying uploading the status here, and it's done uploading now. So thank you for watching this video. In the next video, we will be seeing a physical demonstration of what we've done. We'll be connecting the Arduino according to our circuit diagram, and then we'll be seeing the physical demonstration of what we've done. Thank you. If you have any questions concerning this tutorial, or if you had any problems while working with this tutorial, please ask on the Classroom platform provided for you by JILBOTIcs. I am Olunlade Joshua, and bye for now.